Welcome back, everyone, to The Cost of Silence. This time brought to you pre-recorded because of weather, dogs needing walks, etc. It just was not going to work out super well to stream it live tonight. Hopefully you're able to watch this very soon anyway. We got big things happening in the game. Just to really briefly recap, the agents have been investigating the goings-on of Groversville, Tennessee, a small county seat, central Tennessee, in the hills. The agents were sent here after Billy Ray Spivey, a young man, went on a crime spree with seemingly some strange alterations to his body after some missing time that he had experienced. All of this happened about a week ago. Now, the agents are still in their first full day of investigation here in Groversville. They are working through various people who know Billy Ray. They were able to find Scott Adams, a ufologist who was looking around town, interviewing people, looking for signs of supposed UFO activities. Agent Jasmine, Kurt Becker, got into his room and found him dead in the bathtub. He and Eli Yoder both went in armed to see what was going on there, found that Adams had a bump on his head that turned out to not actually be attached to him, but rather some sort of creature, able to move very quickly on its own and with great force. There was a bit of a struggle before that material, flesh-like ooze was able to escape. Meanwhile, the agents had also found that Billy Ray Spivey's girlfriend, Jane Allen, had also run into Scott Adams, had asked him for help, and Adams had given her the use of his spare room at Merle's Shut-Eye. So, Agent Jennifer Blake, sorry, what's your character's last name?
Harrington. Dr. Blake Harrington.
Yeah, Dr. Blake Harrington took Jane in the FBI van, speeding down country roads the hour and a half to the Knoxville FBI field office.
Yeah, holy crap, what a ride.
Yeah, where a Jane who a week ago wasn't pregnant at all, actually went into labor and delivered a baby, which immediately turned hostile, started acting the same as the lump of fleshy goo from Scott Adams's forehead. The FBI
sick.
were... yeah, sick. Fortunately, the FBI were able to burn that creature. Billy Ray Spivey, at this point, has passed away. Jane Allen is in critical condition there in the FBI field office, and probably unable to answer many questions at the moment. But that's about where we left off. It's mid-afternoon, a hard day already after having talked to people about the town and starting to think that all is not well with more than just Billy Ray Spivey. But that brings us more or less to right now. So we will cut right back in to Eli and Kurt standing, maybe just standing around the tub, having just fought off this strange pseudopod that attacked you from the sewers. It got away. It destroyed your shotgun, unfortunately. Tell me about what your next piece of business is. What are the two of you doing as you've had a chance to catch your breath?
Well, first, Eli is going to take a moment to think about that he just saw the thing that he saw, which was a drain tongue, which was horrific. And that's not a word I ever want to say again.
Drain tongue.
Drain tongue. He is going to immediately look around for something toxic, like Drano or bleach or something.
Oh, that's a way to go.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Something caustic that we could just dump down that drain. Which, I know is likely to do nothing. It's likely to make it worse. But in the moment, that's all I can think of is kill it with fire. Kill it with fire. And I just drop a whole bunch of vodka down there and light a match, man.
So you cast around the room looking for something that you could use to burn it, kill it with fire, burn it with chemicals, something along those lines. Sounds like a fun time for a roll. How about a search roll?
Sure. Search. Hey!
That's a good roll. Yeah, so you like start casting around and it's a motel bathroom. It's not like they leave big bottles of like lye sitting around where guests could hurt themselves and lawsuits could happen. But Scott Adams was using this room for storage of some of the materials he uses. He's just got several boxes that he unloads from his van and leaves in this room. And you look through some of these boxes, and mostly it's brochures, notes, computer equipment, extra chargers, extra batteries for a camera, lenses, that kind of stuff. But there's also a box of car maintenance kind of stuff. There's several bottles of motor oil. But what catches your eye would probably be the... let me think here. The window washer fluid, has a significant amount of alcohol in it. Maybe enough to burn. Probably not. But it certainly won't help anything down there. You also find, I'm gonna say you find some brake cleaning spray, which is in 1996 anyway. It is highly toxic solvent, extremely flammable in an aerosol can.
Well, I don't know if we're going to be able to use the aerosol can as much as I want, but we could dump the other stuff down there. I just hope to get lucky. Now, granted, this may be a terrible plan. So, if the other agent here, who feels like I'm doing more harm than good, please stop me. Otherwise, yeah, I'm dumping this shit down the drain.
No, the other agent is only real concern is he is disappointed that he is not in a position to make popcorn at this moment. So you go for it.
All right. Yeah, we're dumping the caustic stuff down there. I don't think the aerosol is going to do me any good. Because I think even if you try to do the fire spray, it's not going to get down the drain far enough to matter.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so as you carry, several things that you think might be caustic or burn over to the bathroom, you also happen to look at yourself in the bathroom mirror. And while the blood was very diluted in the water, there was enough of it and it splashed all over you. You look like you are you're at the end of Carrie right now. Just splashed with this kind of like pinkish, diluted, partly coagulated blood. There's even like a chunk of it on your face that you wipe away as you head back into the bathroom.
Gross.
Yeah. Clearly I'm going to have to get cleaned up because we look like we just murdered this guy, which is probably not a good look for us at the moment. We got to figure out what we're going to do with this body.
Actually, yeah. How are we gonna make that not look like that?
I don't know. It's a really good question. That's a good question for future me. Current Eli is trying to figure out how to clean himself off and dump a bunch of stuff to the drain, so the pseudopod of death doesn't come back.
Yeah. Yeah, so you dump a bunch of things down the drain, and you're even able to get a little flame coming out of that canister and kind of flame down the drain a little bit. It leaves some scorch marks. There's no obvious reaction to any of this as you have been looking around the drain hole. Whatever it is, either it's deep enough down there that you just can't see it, or it's truly gone.
Well, did my best. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing in this time period.
Yeah, so that takes a couple of minutes. What's Kurt doing, meanwhile?
Well, initially watching to see if anything happens, and when it becomes apparent that this is not going to yield any results, I'm gonna go back next door and talk to Max to say, what have you found so far? How's the progress? How much more time you need with that thing? I mean, it's not all gonna, dump all at once, but
Sure.
maybe Max has something. But
Yeah,
I was gonna
Max.
say Yoder, go ahead.
He as you open the door, he just kind of nods at you. He says, yeah, I've got something. I found the last file he had open. It's kind of trippy.
Okay. Well, Yoder's doing some science lab shit next door, so what do you got?
So I will move us over to the board. And man, it would help if that wasn't underneath everything. Okay, well, Roll20 is doing something weird, but you should be able to see it there. For our listening audience, I will go ahead and read this out insofar as I can. At the top of the document is lowercase letters SZE, comma T. And you know what? There's another way I can open this that'll be easier for everyone to see.
Yeah.
There we go. SZE, T. I'm wondering about the possibility that the brain translates information in terms of extrasensory, and that's why it achieves intuition and common sense. For evidence of ESP or extrasensory perception, look for coincidences, especially within words of significance. If I leave you with a few words that are significant to me personally as examples, if you write down the word choice, underline the letters OI of choice, and underneath insert the binary code that's O1, of course, you will see that the difference between the I and the 1 is of a number with no head on it. But if consciousness is omniparent, or just is, or if consciousness, shall we say, is on open network, we would expect one or more of the languages, the word for choice, to contain the binary code. But we all also expect in one of the words for reason, the word on representing a consent code in the same way as the ability of on HTE computer is a consent code. And if you see, if we read across the word reason in English, it would say re as on. If you write down the word neuron, and with the same meaning the word neuron, you will see that the last few letters of each word neuron they would say the words you are on, by sound using letters as symbols. And it goes on like this, making less and less sense for another paragraph or so.
Okay, so that was like supposed to not make sense and not I'm dumb. Right?
Yeah, no, I will also say the very first time I read this, I was like, am I having a stroke?
Yeah, honestly,
I just
like...
suddenly can't understand this.
Yeah. Like, honestly, it's not just the listening to it. I'm, like, listening and reading it at the same time. And I, like, I was like, oh my god, I don't know what this means. Like, what?
Yeah, so Max has, he brought a printer because he's a prepared techie. So he's, of course, had this printed out and, hands it around to Kurt. What does Kurt think of this?
There's
Hurts.
probably... He's just looking at this thinking, dude's off his rocker. And he's going to need more time with it because there may be some kernels of... He's going to have to sift through the bullshit to get to, there may be some clues here, there may be something here, but it's not jumping off the page.
Yeah. And Max will hand you an additional sheet. And he says, I actually just noted down, I typed up the headings of some of the notes that I've found in here, and just, here's a printout. Here's what Scott Adams was looking into. So he hands over this printout as well. And again, for those just listening, it's more of a list. First, underlined line says livestock mutilations. Under that, Jeff Owens, 5551243, 3 cows, 8/1, 8/4, 8/8. Margaret Allison, 5554628, 1 goat, 8/2. Jeremy Dark, 5559258, about 20 chickens, 8/6. Others? Livestock alterations. Robert Gum, no phone. 1 cow, missing udder but in good health. Purpose? Others like this, operated on and released. 9/6, spotted 3 more in roadside survey. Not sure who farmer was. Once again, underlined, missing time. Buzz Aldrich, 5554290, 8/8. 1 hour. 8/15, 1 hour. 8/29, 3.5 hours. Louisa May, 5559462, 8/10, 3 hours plus. Once again, underlined. Chopper sightings. Amelie's Hills area, north, 9/6, 9 p.m. 9/6, 11 p.m. 9/7, 10:40 p.m. Muzzle flash and discharge. And then underlined again, lights. Many/everyone's seen a few. No correlation I can find, but reports are very sketchy and unreliable. Underlined crop circles. Bo Laramie, 5559473, 8/26, 9/3. And then J.A. P. 3 weeks equals 6 months. Refuses RX. Got a room for her at Shut-Eye. Allen, Barn, Thomas, Jacobs, Cartwright, and Anderson never go home. And again, these are just basically headings in Scott Adams' notes. Things that he had found and was interested in either adding into his story, into his zine, or maybe running down again for more info later, hoping for an additional break.
No, there's a lot of interesting stuff here. Of particular note, the chopper sightings, which further fuels Kurt's suspicion that there are humans in on this, assuming for a moment that there are aliens, which he's not prepared to completely believe, but he mostly believes at this point because too much weird shit has happened. He's not even aware yet of what happened at the field office, but he will be. Chopper sightings suggest other human players in the equation, and he assumes J.A. means Jane Allen, and those last names never go home, including he's assuming that Allen is Jane's very, very busy, allegedly busy dad. There ain't that much work to do in a small town, so what's up with this dude working all the time and never going home? Do those other 4 last names ring a bell? Have we encountered any of those before?
You have. Barn.
I don't remember. I'm sorry. I don't remember the sheriff's name again. I should know.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Dan Oakley. But, yeah, Barn... well, I guess you might recognize the name just from a general, if you had done any amount of research into the town of Groversville, you would have found that the wealthiest man in the city is Merle Barn. Of Merle's Shut-Eye and Merle's Country Bunker. And Eli, very recently... met him at the reservoir.
That's right. Me and Hot Jen certainly did.
Yeah, so Eli has spent a little time trying to fumigate the drain. Kurt is looking over some of the info that's coming out of the laptop, and you unfortunately left some bloody fingerprints on the first printout that you were handed, but now let's move on over to Agent Jennifer. And anything. So tell us about what does it look like after all of this incident has gone down, after Hot Jen has seen the horrors that we covered last time. violent birth of a baby that suddenly attacked and had to be shot and fought off with a flamethrower. What's it like when she's coming down from that?
Well, it's not good. I think she would probably like take a minute on her own to maybe like go back to the car and like, or like go into the bathroom and like wash my hands and my face or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would have blood on me. But I need to like take a second and maybe I'll do like a little like bathroom meditation or something.
Yeah.
And try to like recenter myself.
Yeah, you head over to the bathroom and head into the not heavily used ladies' room in the FBI field office. And you can just stand there in front of the mirror for a moment. You get some paper towels, wet them, and clean a little bit of blood spatter off your face. You're glad.
Yeah, I like look at myself in the mirror and like do some affirmations maybe.
You're glad that you wore the dark suit. If there's any other spatters, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not seeing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some deep breaths, some affirmations, and some awareness of your own levels of stress. And once you have calmed yourself down, probably what comes to mind is, okay, well, what next? And this is where you would think of Agent Derringer having told you that they've developed something, a spray. A spray that is supposed to reveal what they are now calling protomatter. Under UV light.
Protomatter. Okay.
Yeah, any fans of The Expanse? I see you.
Gotta love the Expanse.
That's how I'm gonna be imagining it now.
Yep.
Okay, well shit. We gotta get ourselves some of this spray.
Mm-hmm. So you...
Who do I talk to about that?
You head back out, you find Agent Derringer. He's just still standing outside the care room where this violent birth took place. They've taken Jane Allen already. They're taking her, over to the nearest ER for some more extensive care with an FBI escort. But he's just standing outside the room where all of this took place. Fire alarms are still going off. Somebody's managed to get the sprinklers turned off, and he's frazzled. He's also, excuse you, dog. He's also a bit blood spattered, and a little bit singed, smelling very smoky. But he watches you walk toward him with that calm that you have bought yourself. And he just notes that, and he says, I knew I was right to bring you in on this. Well, shall we take you down to the techs and they can show you how to use this spray?
After what I've seen, I need all the help I can get.
Good. He walks you down the hallway, down a flight of stairs into the basement crime lab complex, into a corner of the lab where a tech that Agent Derringer kind of looks at him. He says, "All right, no names here, but why don't you show my friend here how your solution works?" And the tech, who's a guy in his like late 20s, looks a bit hippie-ish under the lab coat, like tie-dye shirt under the lab coat, and kind of a scraggly beard, but a friendly demeanor. Shows you he's just filled up a spray bottle meant for household cleaners. And he says, "Over here, this is a sample of the protomatter, and I have already sprayed it with this solution, but I'll spray it again. It won't hurt anything." And he gives it a couple of light sprays, and he says, "You can use a lot or a little. Again, it's just an enzymatic reaction." And then he pulls a flashlight from his coat pocket, clicks it on. And where the spray has sprayed over the countertop, it doesn't fluoresce, but where it has settled onto the protomatter, it fluoresces bright, kind of fuchsia pink.
Okay.
And he says, "It's about instantaneous. The solution will degrade very quickly due to sunlight, oxygen. So, spray something, it'll fluoresce like this for a few minutes. I don't know if that matters to you. It is completely non-toxic. You don't have to worry about spraying it on food, water you intend to consume, anything along those lines."
Okay.
And he hands over
Can
this
I get
bottle.
can I get 4 spray bottles?
He smiles and he says, I got you a couple more spray bottles, and there's basically just like a reused bucket. It says like laboratory cement or something like that, and he's just in Sharpie written over that protomatter solution. And he says,
Great, that's great.
You can fill this tub up just 1 part this to 1 part water. So you use as much of this as you need. It's cheap, it's easy. Let me know if you need more.
Okay, thanks a lot.
And Agent Derringer gives him a nod and starts walking you back up to the rear loading dock where you left the van. And he says, "Things are clearly progressing quickly. I would normally suggest that you maybe stay in town here, have a little bit of a rest after all of this, but well, you saw, we can't let this, whatever it is, be free in Groversville any 1 second longer than absolutely necessary."
I 1000% agree.
Good.
You happen to be picking up any UV flashlights while you're there? I don't think they carry them at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, for sure. The lab tech will give you several UV flashlights. The FBI usually has those.
Great. I guess I'll make the drive back to the... What time of the day did you say it is?
It is early afternoon, about 1 p.m. or so.
Should we all, meet up somewhere? We could, have lunch and talk over what our next move is gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, you could give the other 2 guys a call.
Yeah, okay.
to let them know you're on your way back and you can meet them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if we got
Gonna-
an hour to kill, I want to grab a phone book and look up these other names. You know, and internet search,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, I want to either know or have a good guess on who Thomas Jacobs and Cartwright are.
Okay. Yeah, so a quick phone conversation to decide where to meet up. And Kurt starts figuring out who these people are. And Eli has been, you fumigated the hell out of that drain plug. Nothing is living down there.
So we hope.
Probably, if the EPA ever found out what you had put down this drain, they would not be happy, but otherwise, you're feeling pretty confident that nothing's coming back. And now you've got this, body. And also the blood on your own clothing.
Gonna have to figure out what to do with that. And since I think this is a situation where we're gonna have to call the field office and let them know what we got, because we're gonna need help making this disappear. Because I don't think we want the local authorities looking into this.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah,
Was the
that's
I
my
mean,
thing.
we anticipated to some degree having to clean up some crime scene, but is this sufficiently bloody that it's beyond sort of the standard bleach out kit we would be traveling with?
The scene is actually not that bad now that the bloody water has been drained away. I mean, obviously the body is covered in blood, and the deep slashes on his wrists are pretty gnarly looking. But as you look at it, it could look like any other suicide. There's nothing here except for a bunch of windshield wiper fluid and brake cleaner down the drain that looks out of the ordinary.
Well, I mean, we could call it a suicide. Although I feel like if detectives look into the whole drain thing, they're gonna wonder why it's full of shit. But
I just thought of something. I would like a quick alertness roll from both Eli and Kurt.
okay. Alert.
Scary.
That's fine. In case you're curious, that was a failure.
All right, 74 over 50 for Eli, 64 under 70 for Kurt. So Kurt, as you left Adams's room and went into Max's room to look over some of this material, you had maybe grabbed a towel from Adams's room just to towel off your face a tiny bit so that you're not red from head to toe. But as you headed next door, you saw somebody was sitting in their car. They looked like they had just pulled in. Looks like a man in his late 30s, early 40s. And you think he might have looked at you, but you didn't read anything from the situation to think that he was like shocked or terrified or had registered, oh man, that person is covered in blood. But you're aware that somebody new has arrived at the motel.
Are they currently in their vehicle still?
You look, you kind of pull the curtains aside, and the man is no longer in his vehicle. No.
All right, well, I'll take note of the plates and walk to the office. See if he checked in, and if he didn't check in, if June... Basically, to see June, who I assume is still working, ask, see if he's there, and if he's not there, did June see him? Did this guy check in? What's this dude's story? His car's still out there.
Yeah. So you head outside, you walk over toward the front office, and you can see through kind of a side window in the office as you walk over that there is, this man is there talking to June, seemingly checking in. But at about the same time, a light bluish gray van, small minivan, pulls up into the driveway. The side door rolls open quickly, and you hear, "There he is! Get the camera!" And two men jump out. One hoists a TV-style camera onto his shoulder, gets it started, points it at you.
Oh God!
As the other guy is fiddling with some equipment on his belt, and he starts assembling a boom mic. And he starts yelling, "Frank! Frank! He's right here!"
Me or the guy checking in?
He yells Frank to the guy checking in, but they are pointing the camera at you. And the guy checking in rushes out of the office and over toward you. And he just he holds his hand out, and he's got a big smile across his face that falters for a moment when he sees signs of blood around, like behind your jaw where you hadn't seen in the mirror and stuff like that. He says, "Sir, is this a crime scene? Has something happened here? Frank Carancola." And as he walks toward you, he holds out his hand with a business card.
Kurt puts on his best "do not fuck with me" face, points directly at Frank. "You're taking 5 steps back right now." And he points the camera. "You're lowering that camera right now." And Kurt immediately, he doesn't draw it, but he makes it clear that he's got a pistol and he's gonna deploy it if they fuck with him.
And Frank kind of motions over to the camera crew. He says, guys, don't you hear him? Not right now. That obviously something has just gone on. I'm very sorry to get in your face like this, but again, my name is Frank Carancola. I'm executive producer on Phenomenon X. Maybe you've watched the show. And he kind of like stops for a moment.
Is this something I've heard of before? Or is this some like local cable access Wayne's World bullshit?
It is. I'm gonna say that you have heard of it, but mostly in terms of like, this is one of the bigger like paranormal ufology outlets in the country. And they're the people that get made fun of all the time in the X-Files. But yeah, you have heard the name Phenomenon X. You've never watched it. But he walks right up to you and he says, "No, I heard there was some extra law enforcement in town, and it's I don't know, it's sounding like some interesting things are happening. I know Scott's here already. He's probably got the scoop on me. But can I ask, are you law enforcement? What, FBI? Army? Something like that?"
Law enforcement.
Fair enough. And can I ask, I won't film if you don't want me to, but what's going on here? Has something happened in in the motel here?
Did Mr. Adams reach out to you? We've had difficulty locating him.
And he gives you kind of a very sleazy half smile, and he says, Scott's he's a competitor. I see him a lot. We run into each other a lot, but we didn't, I wouldn't say we were close.
Got it. Well, you're a long way from nowhere.
Well, this
What brought
obviously
you here?
isn't nowhere. Scott's been here 2 weeks. We got here 3 days ago. We're already hearing stuff about lights in the sky and people with missing time, and he kind of like comes in closer to you, a little bit buddy and says, I heard you've been talking to people around town. People who knew Billy Ray Spivey, who was on the news a little while back. Now, I know the official story is that he was on some kind of drugs, but... Well, you tell me how a kid on drugs, crop circles, and non-uniformed law enforcement officer covered in blood fit together in any way that's not interesting to me.
Non-uniformed, huh? I'll just do kind of turn. He's got his FBI blazer, windbreaker on still here.
He nods. He says, FBI it is. Agent? Special agent?
Just Kurt gives him the furrowed brow, like tries to convey without using the words, if you ask me another stupid question right now, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
I'll take that as an unnamed source.
Is that camera still down? Is the dude holding that camera?
Yeah, he's got it down, holding it by its carry handle.
Is the record light blinking?
No, it's not.
Got it.
And Frank just, like, sidles in and he says, look, man, there is no network news around here. CNN isn't here. If something's going on, the people deserve to know. I'm just exercising my First Amendment rights to look into whatever may or may not be happening here. And I would love to share information with you. Maybe I've heard something through my contacts that you haven't. So what do you say? Let's work together on this.
You get any footage
You
on
feel
that
like-
camera yet?
He says, well, we got a few things. And you know, from your time working with agents and assessing motivations and whatnot, you know this guy's got shit. He's got fuck all, nothing.
Yeah, no, it's like, kind of looks over and whatever Brady's like, is that one of the new Sonys?
And the cameraman kind of looks down at it, lifts it up a little bit until he can see the name on it. He says, yeah, this is a Sony.
Yeah, wow. Damn. Seen these in Japan. I'm sorry, like, can I just check that for a second? Wow, that's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, he kind of
And
like
I'm not even
holds
if he
it up.
If he holds up noodle armed, or I'm just taking it out of his hands, like I'm gonna look at it.
And Frank says, now, Agent, you can absolutely inspect that if you want, but that is my private property, and If you interfere with us collecting...
I don't let him finish his sentence. I throw it into the parking lot as hard as possible. I pick it up. I slam it again. You point that fucking thing at me again, I'll shoot you.
And he gives one, oh, no, as you throw it, and it shatters in the parking lot. And he just stops, and he looks at you like... gives you one of those, so that's how it's gonna be kind of looks. And he stops and he says, you know what, boys, we better leave the agent alone right now. He's not in a mood for an interview, I guess. But we'll be seeing you, Agent. You didn't give me a name.
You're right. I didn't.
All right. And he steps away from you, kind of steps back a few steps, and he says, Merle's Shut-Eye is just not really seeming like a good place to stay right now. Might go up the road a bit. And he gets in his car, the crew gets in their van, and they pull away, and they head northwest on the 135. Seemingly out of town.
If possible, I mean, I definitely made note of the license plate on the car. If possible, I want to try to block the plate on the van too.
Yeah, absolutely. You check the plate. They're both Tennessee plates, and you memorize the numbers and then write them down later. So all of this got a bit loud, and you did gather a little bit of a crowd. The lady in the office is kind of peering out the window at you. Jane Allen is peeking. Oh no, what am I thinking? Jane Allen's not here. She is in Knoxville. But a couple of other people staying in the motel kind of opened up their curtains to take a look before you have a chance to head back inside. And Eli would have noted all of this going down as well.
Okay. I was curious if I would have seen anything, you know.
Yeah, you hear some talking. You hear Kurt talking to someone outside, and you're like, it seems kind of like a weird thing to be doing right now. And you go and take a look, and you watch this whole confrontation.
Yeah, that's, I believe the words coming out of his mouth currently are, oh, fuck me.
I'm using my people skills.
Oh.
That's great.
Well. Okay then. But I see that they're leaving, and I'm like, well, nothing to salvage from that right now, so just let that go for the moment. And, since I don't know how we're going to handle this, I'm going to get the dude out of the tub, since I'm already full of blood. Okay? And I'm going to, from my pack, I'm going to put 2 compresses over the wounds on his arm and basically make it look like I had found him and attempted to do CPR. But he was clearly already too far gone. So, so I will do some chest compressions enough that I break the sternum and a couple of the ribs, so it looks like I did something. et cetera, et cetera. My due
Right.
diligence, just in case we wanted to involve law enforcement. There's a reason why my fingerprints are all over everything. So, yeah, that's the current goal. Is I'm gonna quickly do that, attend to him, lay him out, and get all of that squared away. So at least we have a plausible story.
Yeah. So you take some time to get the body set up, get yourself cleaned off as much as you can. You're gonna need a shower.
Yeah.
And so after both of you have had a chance to clean off and you've had a chance to look over the printouts that Max is working on, you have a date to meet for kind of a late lunch with Agent Jennifer. I don't know, that maybe at the diner.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, probably. It was good diner food.
Okay. Yeah, so you head over to the diner. The two of you sit and, order some food. I don't know, just for fun and flavor. After being covered in blood, washing off, having horrible experiences, what sort of stuff do Kurt and Eli order?
Well, considering
Yeah, is it scrambled eggs with a lot of ketchup on it?
what time of day is it?
It's about 2 when you sit down to eat.
Burger
Is this
fries.
like a service breakfast all day kind
Yeah,
of diner?
absolutely. This is Waffle House
Cool.
style.
Yeah, it's a burger and fries kind of deal.
Yep.
There's one thing I know about EMTs: we will always gobble down a burger or two.
Yeah, get a good meal when you can, because maybe the day gets busy.
Like, well, that brain's all over the floor. What do you want from my hop?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Order pancakes, but then he orders extra pancakes. And when they arrive, you're like, how much fucking syrup is this guy putting on his pancakes? And Kurt, just anticipating the question after he gets, it's just butter and syrup and this ridiculous stack of pancakes. It's like, got a carbo load. Gotta fuck some
Oh
people
my
up.
god.
Got a carbo load.
You're really making me want some pancakes. Like, immediately.
I'm thinking.
Oh my god.
I'm done. You just hear him, and you hear he's got like a mouthful of pancakes, and you hear him saying, "I'm done playing defense."
Eli's just gonna look at him and go, "What? Jasmine, what happened to you?" Like, I can see that you are displeased. Can you tell me what offensive you're going on? I feel like we've had half a conversation and the other half was in your head.
A lot of people in this town, like he has so much like pancake in his mouth. He starts to, he pauses. He holds up a finger. Let me chew more. Chew, 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 and then like he just pounds like 3/4 of a cup of coffee, chases it with that, and then like burps, but accidentally, but doesn't even say excuse me. And he's like, all right, there are people in this town who know what's up, and they have been bullshitting us and playing us the entire fucking time. I want to shake some trees.
Okay.
That body could be useful. He's like inside, but he's like, that body could be useful. A couple of different ways. So
about
at some point in the middle of the night, we got to transfer that body into his van. get it out of that room. I got a couple ideas for that body, depending on how we want to play it. I don't know. That's where I'm at. Where are you guys at?
Well, one, about our dearly departed. What is it you would like? I was going to ask what we should do. I set it up so it looked like I at least did CPR. In case we want to have the police come collect it. Although it's going to look a little bad if we're out here eating pancakes. So, we want to have, I don't know, we want to have the agency come get it, or what should we do? Thoughts, concerns?
Well, my feeling is we know more than the local popo thinks we know, and that right now works to our advantage. I don't think looping them in helps our cause. Scott Adams said the sheriff apparently told Jane that the sheriff would just cover it up. I believe that. I don't think the sheriff is the ringleader necessarily. I think he's just sort of, you know, middle management hired help for the assholes who are orchestrating this bullshit, which include possibly Jane's dad and that list of assholes on Scott's, you know, printout. Did I get any further in figuring out who any of those other three people were? Or was Max able to figure it out? Are they in the phone book?
They are in the phone book. You even grab the diner's copy of the phone book and kind of compare it with the printout you're looking at. You also catch each other up on what happened while you were apart.
Let her know about the whole drain tongue.
What?
Yeah. So I gave her the basics about what we came, yeah. But what we saw there, what happened, you know. Drain tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and the you know, the body that's still laying in there. might wanna deal with that.
Yeah. What do we do with that?
I mean, my thinking was that I had set up that I had done CPR and it hadn't worked, and we just call the locals in to get the body, notify next of kin and all that. But we could instead maybe talk about heading into the field office instead, since it's involved with all of this. There might be evidence internally that may not be something we want locals seeing.
That makes sense.
Thoughts?
Put that body back in Scott Adams' van, drive that van in the middle of the night to a location, call the sheriff, say, hey, we found Scott Adams, it's weird, can you come take a look at it? And he comes out, we spray him down and see if he glows in the dark, and if he does, we cap his ass right then and there.
Oh, with the
See, that
stuff.
probably means me, but I'm okay with that. Can't stand a bent cop.
Do you think he's involved in this somehow?
Do you think that we're doing this investigation in Mayberry? Come on.
No. No.
We're being lied to and bullshitted left and right. I don't think he's the mastermind, but he knows he's doing the dirty work. He's the security guard and the janitor for whatever's going down around here, man.
If you think so, maybe we should consider staking him out, following him for a bit.
Another thought I had was, I don't think our friends that will TV from that show, I don't think they went too far. They take a drive down that road and then maybe call the sheriff, stick the sheriff on them, say, hey, these guys were at the Merles, stirring up some shit, making all kinds of accusations against you. You might want to go to have a word, and then keep an eye on those guys. And if it's just the sheriff, or just one cop comes in, no big thing. But if the sheriff sends overwhelming force to deal with those guys, then I think that's a tell. I'm just spitballing here. The number one thing I don't want to do right now is tell the local popo a fucking thing. I think it works to our advantage to have them think that we don't know shit. Because they're definitely lying to you. You don't think that they're being truthful with us, do you?
Well, they haven't really told us much of anything to be truthful about. I'm gonna look over to Jennifer.
They say there's nothing going on. They've been dismissive of everything. Quiet little town, nothing going on. If half the shit on Scott Adams' little printout is true, there's a whole lot of stuff going on. So why? And the sheriff department would definitely be aware of most, if not all of it. So why would he tell us that there's nothing going on?
No, that is very fair. That is very fair. All right.
You guys want to go to the field office? That's fine. I got some journalists to shake down. I promise not to shoot any of them in the next 24 hours, despite threats to the contrary.
Right. So not the next 24 hours, but about 25 hours.
Dude,
I
he's
didn't
gonna
say
punch
anything
you.
about broken arms.
All right.
Along if you decide so.
What time is it again now?
Now it's getting around 5:30.
5:30.
Sun's getting low.
I want to go northwest and see places where those guys might be crashing up. Before that, I want to do a little pit stop over at the sheriff's office. I was driving around, I was like, man, he's like, Max, I need your masterpiece, your best work. I need your best bug. Fish it out. Give it to me.
Nice. Let me make a roll on his part. See how well this goes. Oh yeah, that's a 14 under his 60 for SIGINT. Max, before everybody heads out, Max got some kind of a field kit from the van, and he opens up this duffel bag and a little plastic case inside. And he hands you something that it looks like a little plastic black circle. There is a little peel-off paper, wax paper, covering adhesive on one side. And he says, peel off the paper when you're ready. That'll start it transmitting. And batteries should be good as long as we're receiving close enough. Batteries should be good for 12 hours or so. Or if we get me in there, I could get something with a power supply that'll be good indefinitely.
Power supply.
And he goes through things, and he's kind of smiling, and he says, "I made this one up myself. This is from my personal stash." And he pulls out what just looks like a standard wall socket, like power plug. But it's maybe 1/4 of an inch thick, and it's got 2 sets of prongs on the back. And he says, just plug this in over the top of one of their power plugs, ideally somewhere that it's fairly hidden. You can plug things into it that'll still work, and it'll take power off the lines, and it will keep transmitting as long as you need it to.
Well, give me both, and let's go visit the local po-po.
All right. And he hops in your car, and you head over to the sheriff's office. Just down the street, kind of downtown, if there is such a thing. It's just a little building off the courthouse, across the street from the county jail. You pull into the parking lot, and you can see... let me try to remind myself the name of the sheriff's deputy you talked to. Courtney Henderson.
Gotcha.
She is at the front desk when you go in through the doors. And she smiles. She says, "Oh, agents, how can we help you?"
Nice to see you again, Courtney. Is Sheriff Oakley in?
Oh, no, he's down at the town hall.
Gotcha.
I could give him a call, let him know you want to talk to him. He'd be fine with you just waiting in his office if you want.
That would be wonderful, thank you.
You got it. And she shows you to his office, and he's got golf trophies nearly covering one wall. And just like knickknacks, this guy seems to eat, sleep, and breathe golf, hunting, and fishing. And she just leaves you with, his office has a couple of chairs that are there for meetings on one side of the desk. He's got locking file cabinets, and you can tell that he's careful enough not to leave anything important just sitting out. But she just shows you in, says, you make yourselves comfortable. I will give the sheriff a call and let you know what he says. And she...
That would work. Thank you for your help. Do these phones... I need to just do a quick check-in with my office. Do these phones dial out? Do I need to hit 9 first? Or...
Oh, sure.
I just need to do a quick check-in call.
And she shows you the phone. It's an older one, and she says, you just punch this one. When that light's on, you're dialing out. Otherwise, and she shows you the row of other buttons. All of these are just essentially intercom. They go to front door, to the jail, to town hall,
Okay.
etc.
So I'm gonna go in with Max. Great, thank you. And then, did she leave the door open, or did she close it?
Yeah, she leaves it open, but the front desk is kind of around a corner.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll just hang out.
Yeah, and you can hear her like.
It's a hiding job.
She gets on the phone, and she says, "Hey Dan, those FBI types are here. I just told them to wait in your office, and you'd be right over." All right, yeah, I'll let him know. And she kind of stays on the phone for a little bit longer, and she's saying, "Oh yeah, I know how busy it is down there. Well, you get away when you can. I'll try to keep them occupied until then." And in the time being, you've got, I'm going to say, about a minute, completely alone, where she's out of the room. Do you plant any of these bugs?
I'm gonna ask. Max is an expert. I'm gonna ask Max to plant the powered one.
Okay. So, get Max's sheet open again. He is going to work on the powered one just to make sure it's in place properly. All right. He fails. That's unfortunately not something that you know at this point. You've got the sticky one as well. Are you putting that somewhere else in here?
Yeah.
Okay. You could roll SIGINT. You could roll stealth if you wanted.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, this isn't gonna work out.
Yeah, Max just has time to work on the one. He plugs it in behind the sheriff's
It's just
desk
a
and
fail. I'm not gonna.
okay, so you're just gonna hold on to it.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you look around thinking of planting it somewhere, and nothing looks really good to you. And
Here, I'll just get up in a hurry, and I'm just walking towards the deputy. Like, I can come to him. Where is the sheriff?
oh, he's over at town hall, but he's on his way over here. If you went over, you'd probably miss each other.
Okay.
You have a
All
seat. Do you want anything to drink? We've got some cold Cokes in the fridge here.
I do enjoy a cold Coca-Cola. Thank you.
You got it. And she pulls a cold can of Coke from a mini fridge under the desk and gives one to Max as well. And then just kind of like comes to the office and leans on the door jamb to make small talk with you while the sheriff makes his way over. And it only takes 5 minutes or so. And the sheriff is on his way in. He looks a little tired, a little harried when he comes in, but has a smile for you, and he says, "Agent, did you tell him Agent Jasmine? Did you give him a name?"
Oh God, I don't remember what name, but no.
Yeah, me neither. I need to go back and listen to our first episode. But, he essentially like, Agent Becker, good to see you. How can we help you today?
And just close the door real quick, step out. I mean, let the sheriff have his chair. Kurt's body language and movement is such that he's not trying to take charge here. He's like being a courteous guest. So let the sheriff think that, he's the big boss of all things. And just say, look, did you, it wasn't much of a thing, but this is also a small town. Did you hear anything about the little dust up in the parking lot earlier today over at Marl's?
And he leans back in his chair and chuckles and says, "Yeah, I heard you fucked up Frank Carancola's camera. He came to me saying he was going to press charges, and I let him know that we would expedite that, and between you and me. That man has been getting on my nerves. For 2 years now, he's been coming to this town. He wanders around, he harasses our citizens, he harasses the cows. All right, we're pretty tired of Frank around here. So, between you and me, I highly approve of your actions. Now, if he does decide to seek any sort of civil damages, I suppose he'll have to contact the FBI about that, because I ain't doing anything for him."
Yeah, he can, we'll drown him in paperwork. You know how that can go.
Oh, yeah.
But he was pretty aggressive, talking some crazy shit. And then he took off northwest. If he's not staying at Merle's, where do you think he'd be staying?
Well, about 30 miles up, there's another, just a roadside Motel 6. I'll bet he's up there. But you should know, he's in town right now. I mean, I was walking over and I saw him and his producer. They pulled up and looked like they spotted your car in the parking lot here. So you should probably be aware that they're probably taking an interest in your activities. Now, I am happy to run interference here, but there is going to be a limit to what I can do without, incurring trouble for my department. We'll keep talking about this, and maybe we can hand them back and forth. But when it comes down to it, they are media, and if you don't want a real lot of attention, like we don't, then we don't want Frank and his Phenomenon X having anything interesting to say about this town other than they met a really rude FBI agent here. If they get nothing else, they'll go away and we'll hear nothing else of it.
I got it. Well, I wanted to alert you, but it sounds like you're well aware of this individual, kind of his MO. He was talking some crazy shit, and honestly, what pissed me off, lawman to lawman, his claims, insinuations that somehow that you were in on it or involved or covering things up. Like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Is he just jerking my chain? Has he been talking that shit to other people?
I hadn't heard that one, but honestly, like, he's a scumbag. I don't know what you would expect of that sort. So if he's saying I'm in on it, I don't know. He said that he saw lights over the reservoir. He said that he saw cows with no udders. He says all sorts of things. He also said he saw Bigfoot. And not up in the Pacific Northwest where you'd expect. No, he said he saw Bigfoot in rural Idaho. All right, so Frank Carancola, I don't put much stock in anything he says.
If he keeps messing with me, he's gonna see a Bigfoot all the way up his ass.
I like the sound of that.
All right. Well, we can invoice him, or he can invoice me, or maybe we can make nice. But if this guy is harmless, it's more of an annoyance than anything else.
Of course. Now,
I'm sorry to take your time away from town hall. What on earth did they have you working on that's got you so ragged out, man?
Oh, it's just the usual. They're trying to overhaul some of the financial systems over there, and they're looking at everybody's books. It's a whole thing. But our county does like to have its books nice and square and in the black on everything. And apparently the other week they found some irregularities, and we're still not sure whether it's a problem with just a clerical error, or maybe somebody somewhere was embezzling a little bit. That's why I'm involved. But so far, other than a little bit of missing money, we don't know where any of it went. And they're working day and night to try and figure it out.
Hopefully you got some help, Mr. Allen, helping you out with that.
Oh yeah, he's the best accountant in the county, as far as I'm aware.
You got any other town heavy hitters working with you on that?
Oh well, the whole council's down there, so Allen and Merle Barnes working with us just because he really does love this town, and he wants to do his part, and Jerry Thomas and Pete Jacobs, Cartwright, Anderson, the usuals.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Ms. Allen, Mr. Allen's Daughter hasn't been seen in a while. You know anything about that? Where she might have gone to?
You know,
Is he
I had
worried? Or
heard.
is he just putting on a brave face? I just don't understand.
No, you know, I heard from Nancy. Actually, we spoke today. She let me know that you would come by, and or I should say your colleagues had come by and talked to her. She said you were all perfectly pleasant and polite. I very much thank you for that. Um, and I did drive around town a little bit just to check in with some of Jane's friends, and they all let me know that she had lit out to Nashville yesterday. Some kind of party or something like that. But you know, she is she's 18, nearly 19, and that's something that she does have the right to do these days, even if it does worry her mother a little bit.
Yeah, well, hopefully she can't get into too much trouble in Nashville.
Well,
What's
it's
the worst that
Nashville.
can happen? You sign a bad country music contract, maybe?
Exactly.
All right. Well, I do appreciate your time. Sorry to make you tear you away from your work for nothing.
Of course.
Are those guys still going at it down at Town Hall?
Oh, they are, and I expect them to be all night. If you wanted to pop in, you could, but you know, it's just they're down in the archives. So the place is going to look empty. But if you want to take a look, I can walk you over there. You know, if it's really important to talk to any of them, you just let me know.
No.
We of course we've said it before. I'll say it again. We want to be helpful to you.
Just I'd appreciate some introductions. My associate and I we'll walk back with you, say our hellos, meet face to face real quick, like a couple of
Sure.
business cards, and be on our way.
Of course. And he gets up from his chair and heads out. He says, looks at the deputy. He says, "Courtney, we're gonna head back over to town hall. I'm just gonna show him around, make some introductions." And she is on the phone as he says this, and she puts a finger up, like wait, this is important. And she nods a couple of times. She says, "Really? Okay, I'll get fire on it. Everyone all right over there?" "Yeah, okay." And she puts her hand over the mouthpiece and she says, "I'm talking to them over at town hall. They had a fire breakout just a minute after you left. Anyway, place is full of smoke. They're all heading home for the night. So if you want to make introductions, you might want to wait for the morning until they can all have a little bit of a rest. Apparently, electrical fire, and they got it out, but there's some smoke damage, and they're going to be double busy looking into this for probably the next several weeks." And the sheriff just kind of looks over at you like, "What are you going to do?" And he says, I'm so sorry. You know what? If all that's true, we can still walk over there if you like. But maybe we could make introductions tomorrow. Maybe we could buy you breakfast."
Let's take a walk over anyway. I appreciate that. My
course.
associate here, I don't know what he's a bit of an electronics expert. If you got a issue down there, I mean, I know you got some local folks and some local ingenuity, but my associate here, if you have some kind of electrical issue,
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
might be able to provide some insight to prevent further damage.
And he nods and smiles and leads you out the door, up the road, past the jail, and you can see there is a little plume of white smoke above town hall, and one of the there's sort of a sunken basement or a window well where the window's open. There's a little bit of a black smudge above it. It doesn't look like anything bad, but you can hear a smoke alarm going off.
This is right. This is right. I'm not saying Max. I just don't know his fake name. Max is right in your wheelhouse.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna, as we walk over, at one point, I'm gonna let the sheriff get ahead of us a little bit. I'm not gonna stop, but I'm gonna slow walk it to have some distance. And I'm gonna whisper to Max's ear, like, if you fuck up planning this bug, I'll make sure that you work at Radio Shack 30 hours a week, no benefits for the rest of your fucking life.
Dang.
Hearts and minds, this guy. Just hearts and minds.
Yeah, and you head over, and as you reach the town hall, you can see there's a couple of men out front, just kind of sitting on the front steps. You can hear the siren of the local fire crew start up across town and start in this direction. And he says, "Hey, Pete, what happened?" And one of the guys looks up. He says, "Hey, out of nowhere, just there were sparks and fizzling, and then smoke everywhere. So we got the extinguisher. We think it's all out, but called over just so you'd know." And as the sheriff looks into the town hall, he opens the door, and this he makes an introduction first. He says, "Agent, this is Pete Jacobs, member of the council, and Merle Barn." And you see an older man, maybe in his 70s, and a man in his mid-50s. Both greet you.
All right. What's my sense of their demeanor? Are they just tired? Are they nervous?
They
Preoccupied? What's their deal?
They look a little bit spooked. Like you would expect if you had just had like a minor fire, nothing that's life-threatening, but that's going to cause a lot of paperwork and everything's going to smell like smoke for a while and stuff like that. To your eye, they seem right for having just experienced a really minor fire like that.
Yeah. We had something just like this Denver office one time. Bad wiring job, man. Some of these yahoos that say that they're licensed and bonded, full of shit. And if we take a look, I think I could save you some time and trouble. We'll probably save you some money.
Yeah, and
I mean my associate here.
Max heads to the door, and Pete Jacobs says, "Oh, hey, you might not want to go in there. We had all of this old stored microfiche, and that's what actually burned. That's where all this smoke came from, and it is probably toxic in there. We got everything open, but you might not want to go in there today, maybe tomorrow." And Max just kind of hesitates, looks to you like, "Hey, should I press this anymore?"
It'll just be a minute, and we just start walking. I'm not being super aggressive, but I ain't stopping either.
And the sheriff puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, "No, I mean, everything in there is going to wait. There's no need for you to risk your lungs going in there. I mean, let the firefighters in there first, at the very least."
All right. I'll wait for the firefighters.
All right, then. And he just kind of stands around with you, introducing Merle Barn, introducing Pete Jacobs, and asks where the rest are, and they say that the rest of the council headed home for showers to get all the acrid smoke out of their clothes. He says, he says that Alan was the closest to the fire and inhaled some, and he headed over to the clinic.
Gotcha. Alright, well. Anyway, I'm gonna take you up on that breakfast. I leave, and I want to go. As soon as we leave, we're going straight to the clinic, because I want to see if I catch them in a lie or not.
Mm-hmm.